Once upon a time, in a small cottage near the edge of a deep forest, lived a poor woodcutter, his wife, and his two children, Hansel and Gretel. Times were hard, and food was scarce. One night, she whispered to her husband, "We don't have enough food. If we take the children deep into the forest and leave them there, they will not find their way back." The woodcutter loved his children and hesitated, but his wife insisted until he reluctantly agreed. Hansel and Gretel, lying awake in bed, overheard everything. Gretel wept in fear, but Hansel comforted her. "Don't worry, Gretel, I have a plan." That night, Hansel sneaked outside and gathered white pebbles from the yard, stuffing them into his pockets. The next morning, their stepmother led them deep into the forest. As they walked, Hansel secretly dropped the pebbles along the path. When they reached a clearing, the stepmother said, "Wait here while your father gathers wood." She and the woodcutter then left. As darkness fell, Gretel clung to her brother. But when the moon rose, its light made the pebbles shine like tiny stars. Hansel took Gretel's hand and followed the pebbles all the way home. Their father was overjoyed to see them, but their stepmother was furious. A few days later, she tried again. This time, Hansel had no chance to gather pebbles. Instead, he crumbled a piece of bread and left a trail of crumbs. Once again, they were abandoned in the forest. But when night came, Hansel and Gretel could not find their way home. The birds had eaten all the breadcrumbs. Lost and frightened, they wandered through the dark forest. After 2 days of hunger and exhaustion, they stumbled upon a small cottage made entirely of sweets, walls of gingerbread, windows of sugar, and a roof of chocolate. Starving, the children eagerly broke off pieces and ate them. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and an old woman with a kind smile appeared. "Oh, dear children, you must be starving. Come in and rest." Little did they know, the woman was an evil witch who lured children into her home to eat them. She locked Hansel in a cage and forced Gretel to do chores. "Fatten him up," the witch cackled, "and I shall have a feast." Each day she checked Hansel's finger to see if he had gained weight. But clever Hansel tricked her by offering a thin bone instead. Since the witch had poor eyesight, she believed he was still too skinny. One day she grew impatient. "I shall eat him anyway," she shrieked. She ordered Gretel to heat the oven. Gretel knew the witch planned to push her in, so she thought quickly. "I don't know how to check if the oven is hot," she said innocently. "Foolish girl, let me show you," the witch snapped, sticking her head inside. In that moment, Gretel pushed the witch into the oven and slammed the door shut. The witch screamed, but it was too late. She was gone. Gretel freed Hansel, and they searched the house, finding chests filled with gold and jewels. "We'll take this home to father," Gretel cried. Following a bright white bird, the siblings found their way out of the forest and back to their cottage. Their father, who had since regretted abandoning them, welcomed them with open arms. Their stepmother had disappeared. With the witch's treasure, they were never hungry again and lived happily ever after.